Hello and welcome to the No Frills Reggae Boyz 2022 World Cup Qualification Report. This is where we look at the Reggae Boyz and their performances throughout the CONCACAF qualification stage based on the stats that come out of the facts. Going into the third window of matches in the third round stage of the CONCACAF World Cup Qualification, the Reggae Boyz were happy to receive news from the Jamaican government stating that up to 5,000 spectators will be allowed into the National Stadium to watch Jamaica's next home game, which will be the second game of this window, the return match against the United States. Attached to this would be the additional condition that all spectators be fully vaccinated before they be allowed to enter into the stadium. Coach Theodore Whitmore picked a 24-man squad again this time around, making 5 changes from the 24 picked for the last international window. This would include 3 UK-based players, including Jamal Lowe, all who had withdrawn themselves from the previous squad. Both Ethan Pinnock and Daniel Johnson would be amongst those to miss out on selection this time around. Whitmore would have been pleased to be able to call up star players in the Reggae Boyz setup, English Premier League forwards Liam Bailey and Michael Antonio, amongst the 5 brought in this time around. Leading up into the days before the squad would join together in preparation for the away match against El Salvador, it was announced that Andre Gray would not be joining the squad this time around due to an injury that he picked up whilst playing for his club, Queen's Park Rangers. His clubmate, the Reggae Boyz' second choice goalkeeper Dylan Barnes, would also be ruled out due to injury. Whitmore acted swiftly, bringing back Javane Brown, who had been in the last squad, along with an experienced Reggae Boyz goalkeeper who plies his trade in the Swedish league, Dwayne Miller. The squad numbers were issued as follows. Javon Ease was to be the player to miss out on selection for the 23-man squad for the game away to El Salvador, who, like the Reggae Boyz, are on 5 points but sit below Jamaica in the table on goal difference. For the Reggae Boyz to assume that they had the right to go away and win in this qualifying phase of the competition would be to take a very narrow view of what it will take to qualify for the World Cup in Qatar. But what is important that they do in this game to keep their chances of qualification realistic is not lose. The starting 11 for the game would see the welcome return of the Reggae Boyz' most high-profile player, Liam Bailey, to the lineup. He, along with O'Neill Fisher, will be the only differences in the 11 to the No Frills recommended starting lineup, with Devon Williams, who was the star player from the last international window, and Junior Flemings, the 2 who Coach Whitmore would leave out, as he continued with his current 4-4-2 formation, which has seen them unbeaten in the last 2 matches, with Kemar Roof being moved back deeper into the midfield to make way for Liam Bailey, and Bobby Reid, the other change to the team since the last qualifier, taking a position on the left side of midfield. El Salvador came into this game showing a clear determination not to let what happened to Honduras in Reggae Boyz' last qualifier also happen to them, and were from the start pushing forward and putting the Jamaicans under pressure, keeping play mainly in the half of the boys in yellow. The defensive line were being kept busy and needed strong support from the midfield players to keep El Salvador out, with Adrian Mariappa and Kamaru both putting in notable performances as they both completed a 93% pass completion rate. However, the star player for the day was left-back Kemar Lawrence, who proved very effective in his ball distribution throughout the game and was responsible for the assist for the goal that the Reggae Boyz would score later in the game. That goal would come in the 82nd minute when substitute Michael Antonio received the ball out on the left in the El Salvador half and made a pacey dash for the opposition goal, evading the chasing defender and calmly chipping the ball over the approaching goalkeeper for 1-0 after being on the pitch for just 10 minutes. El Salvador had been pressing forward, looking more and more likely to score even before the Reggae Boyz went ahead, and this would continue after as well, forcing a few good saves out of the goalkeeper Andre Blake in the last 20 minutes of the game before finally getting their equaliser in the 90th minute through a headed effort from Alexander Roldan and earn a 1-1 draw. Although not an ideal result for the Reggae Boyz, keeping the current unbeaten run going was important going into the second half of this stage of the qualification process. The standings on the table showed no improvement for the Reggae Boyz, staying in 6th position, but now 5 points off Panama in 4th. The standings in the table actually looks a lot worse than it really is from a Reggae Boyz perspective. But if you take into consideration that 5 of the 7 games played were away fixtures, this obviously means that there are 5 home games to be played, games in which the Reggae Boyz will be seeking to collect a good amount of points if they are to have any chance of making it through this qualifying stage. To give a summary of the first half of this stage of the CONCACAF World Cup qualifications, it would have to be said that the biggest failing in the campaign so far was the home defeat to Panama, a game that saw Coach Whitmore overfill his team with UK-based players, whilst paying little attention with regards to balance and strategy within the team. The result, not only throwing away a precious 3 points, but handing them to the team most capable of taking the final qualification position away from the Jamaicans. 2 players have been ever present throughout the qualification process so far, they being goalkeeper and captain Andre Blake and left back come wing back Kemar Lawrence. And the 2 players that have shone the most so far are Tyreek McGee, who wasn't selected for the present squad, and the star player so far, Devon Williams, who despite not starting in every game, has made a significant contribution whenever called upon. Based on the stats gathered from the players who have played throughout the qualification, we have compiled a no-frills midway point 11 that includes an additional bias towards the 2 highest profile players, Leon Bailey and Michael Antonio. This is the way that it comes out. 3 of the players in this 11, Tyreek McGee, Daniel Johnson and Ethan Pinnock, were not selected for the present squad, while another 3 players, Michael Antonio, Devon Williams and Leon Moore, didn't make the starting lineup for the last game. The formation for this lineup is shaped into a 3-5-2, as can be seen here. with a strong and solid back three supported by Anthony Grant in the CDM position in front of them. The midfield would be packed with pace leading out towards the left to feed Kamara Lawrence on the wing to create opportunities for others in front of goal. Going into the next game of qualifications at home to table toppers USA, it would seem like the best that the Reggae Boyz could hope for was to achieve a draw. Although with the right application and focus, it cannot be seen as impossible to grab a precious 3 points.